across America. Talk radio and the voices of freedom.
Don't stop talking, don't stop sharing, don't stop laughing, don't stop caring. As long as you've got a voice, don't ever stop.
Oh, that's right. Don't ever stop talking, America. Let's just keep it to talking, though. I tell you what. Anyways, we've got some big election results for right here in South Carolina. I don't know if you've heard it yet. Penny goes, I don't really care. I'm just a cute dog laying in my bed, sitting here on the radio. Well, sitting here on Facebook Live. That's right. You can catch us right there on WCRS Radio, right there on Facebook. We are live this morning. That's right. Penny's live. And let's see. Am I live? Oh, yeah, I'm alive, too. Which would you rather see? Probably Penny. There you go. Princess Penny snoozing there very nicely. You know, I should save this story to later in the show, but I'm going to tell a Penny story right now. Then we'll get into all the election stuff, all the stuff I got to talk about. Well, yesterday afternoon, Penny had a lesson. C3 Kennels, Jane over there, comes and helps try to make Penny into a princess. Nah, not really. Just trying to get some basic obedience going here. Anyway, she was doing really, really good, and we've got this new system that we're trying out, and it seems to be working really well for Penny, and so yada, yada. So Jane leaves, and I go vote, get all this kind of stuff done, and then we come back and decided to fix a little dinner. After dinner, Penny, of course, always wants to go out. And so I was like, okay, let's go for a walk. I open the door, click on her long lead. She runs around the field with like a, 15, 20-foot lead on. So I can at least have the opportunity to catch her. Except she's not moving very fast. She's kind of frozen on the deck there. And I look out, and there are 3 deer frozen statues in the backyard there. And I said to myself, oh Lord, I better hold on tight to that lead. And then something in me said, nah, I'm just going to let her go and trust the process. I'm going to trust the fact that Penny will come back. Well, I let her go. She could feel the tension in the leash. She waited till the deer bolted, then Penny bolted across that field, chasing them, yip, 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 running after them in total joy across the field. I'm like, oh, Lord, I don't have this little clicker thing I'm supposed to have. So I said, I'm going to trust the process. And I walked back inside, found the clicker, walked outside. And, of course, Penny was not to be seen. And I said, remain calm, Anne. Penny will reappear out of the woods here in just a second. And sure enough, she appeared out of the woods. She was chasing their scent all over the field, so I just quietly waited. And when she finally slowed down for a minute, I said, Penny, here. She looked at me, then she looked back down at the ground and said, nah, I'm not coming. I said, Penny, here. Didn't come. So I gave it another minute there, and after a little potty break, she looked at me again, and I said, Penny, here. She looked at me, and I clicked the clicker, and she goes, you know, I think coming to see you is a great idea. So training works, number 1. But number 2, trusting in the process is what is necessary. And yesterday, we had to trust the process when it came to the elections. And so what was the process? People voted. People needed to get out and vote. And there were some decisions made. There'll be no more runoff elections. That's a good thing. One person won, and unfortunately, there were some losers. Yesterday, Alan Wilson, South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson, won in the hard-fought battle with Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evett. I think I'm just going to give you round figures. It was 65 to 34%. That was a huge, huge win for Alan Wilson, and big celebration. I thought it was interesting last night that in his, I guess we'll call it a victory speech, he was, of course, thanking everybody there, thanking his family, thanking his donors, thanking. And then he wanted to thank his running mate, Rickenbacker. Mike Rickenbacker, there you go. And but instead of just saying, and thanks, Mike, for being being my partner here, he said when, this was just rather cute, and again, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, what did he say? He said, when I was looking for my lieutenant governor, I wanted somebody who worked hard, and he went through all these categories that aligned with him, yada, yada. So I chose Mike Rickenbacker's wife, Charisse. And that's only funny if you know that Charisse and Mike Rickenbacker are a total team. He has been and will continue, I guess, through the end of the year, or being a senator from for South Carolina. And his wife is there every day. They literally live their lives totally together. He is a great guy. I have met him. I met him really for the first time earlier this year, but I have done a lot of research on him. And now that the primary is won, we should be able to get him on the air, and I think you will be as excited about Alan Wilson's choice. But I thought the line was, I was looking for somebody that would work as hard, that would do this, that would do that. So I decided to hire Charisse Rickenbach, which is just kind of funny because that's his wife. And of course, Mike is actually his running partner with the lieutenant governor. I'm looking forward to seeing a lieutenant governor who actually is going to be in charge of something. According to Alan Wilson, he is going to do kind of a Doge effect on South Carolina, which I think should prove very interesting, and I'm sure eye-opening should he win the election for governor for the great state of South Carolina. For Pamela Evett, I think it was a very, very sad night. She has already pledged her support to Alan Wilson to make sure that Republicans are in the office. But I know that it was very, very hard for her, and that she is, I think she told us yesterday that as of Thursday, she was going to take a few days with her husband and just go maybe sit on a beach, I don't know, but they're down at the beach. They were down at the beach last night. Anyways, I don't know exactly what she's doing, but I'm just saying I think she's going to take a few days and adjust. I'm going to tell you what, politics is a tough business, and you only have to look at the races here in South Carolina to see that. Although, when you look at New York and all those kind of places, it's even worse. But let's continue on with our other races. I tell you what, David Stumbo was the one that came out on top over Stephen Goldfinch. I mean, what a night for David Stumbo after that health care to be in a position of to take it home and win it out. They called the race for the governor in about half an hour. I thought that was rather amazing. Took a little longer. Oh, what, an hour or so? Yeah, I think something like an hour or so for David Stumbo to take home the win for the South Carolina Attorney General Republican office. So I think that was That was a big win. It's a big win for Greenwood, South Carolina, too, because that'll be the first time we've had a major office holder come out of South Carolina. So that was pretty darn awesome. Looks like in the governor's race, there were 318,000 votes cast. Voter turnout was about 10%. Again, 10% of our population made the decision on who moved forward. But anyways, let's get back. Attorney General David Stumbo got 55.75% of the vote. Stephen Goldfinch, 44.25%. In that race, there was a total of 310,214 ballots cast. So that was on that one. And then the Commissioner of Agriculture, Cody Simpson, 62.5% versus Danny Ford at 37.42%. 308,000 votes were cast. So that was a significant win there, too. I mean, I'm not trying to make any predictions or anything else, but let me just say this. If you came on WCRS, you had the potential to win your race because all of those candidates won their race. I mean, you draw the conclusion, folks. You draw the conclusion. But in all my years of doing this, I can honestly say, if you came on WCRS, your chances of winning were pretty darn great. So keep that in mind if you're looking at advertising futuristically. Remember, WCRS. We're going to have a lot of local races coming up. I hope that you're listening here this morning. All right, so that's the windup on the big races that affected Greenwood. Of course, there were a lot of U.S. House of Representatives down there, particularly on the coast, that were, and it was Democrat and Republican, which I thought was very interesting too. So a lot of runoff races for only 10% of the voter turnout of the voter public made the choice. Ballots cast, 351,149. Registered voters, we have 3,449,908. So again, 351,000 ballots cast, registered voters, 3.4 million registered voters. That is really sad, I think. Voters need to be engaged because these numbers might have been different. They might not. This might be representative of the whole election process. But I guess the question to me is, what can be done to get people to vote more? Years ago, I wanted. They used to rank the counties. They may still do it, I just don't remember. But they used to rank the counties and who had the most voter turnout. And this is actually back in the day before we had all these computers and computerized numbers and everything. And I thought, in fact, I talked to Connie Moody about it, wouldn't it be great if Greenwood County, if we ran a contest across the state and we all competed based on our size, so it would have to be a percentage vote. You couldn't do Greenwood County versus Charleston, for example, because there's just that many more voters. But if you did it as a percentage of the number of registered voters, you sure could. Wouldn't it be great in order to get people to turn out? We came up with some prize, whether it was just the fact that our county voted the most and all across the state. I still think that's a good idea. I might float that by, or if you're in the voting business, you might float that by, because I think that could be kind of fun. I don't know what you win or anything else, or just bragging rights. Greenwood County, #1 county in the state of South Carolina for people that turn out to vote. Wouldn't that be cool? I think it would be cool. Anyways, let's talk about some other things. Voters, the vote has been cast. The contest is set. Attorney General David Stumbo, Commissioner of Agriculture Cody Simpson, and Governor Alan Wilson. You know what's interesting? I'm just bringing this up. President Trump can say he won all across the board. I'm still not sure I'm good with the fact of a double endorsement. I don't know if I'm good with that or not. How about you? 864-332-9355. 864-332-9355. I guess the other question is, did it make a difference to you when you voted? Did you say, oh, President Trump endorsed, so I'm going to vote for? I think the race that might have been able to have told us more about it is the race for Ag Commissioner. He did endorse Cody Simpson, and so from that standpoint, that was a one endorse. I think, did he endorse David Stumbo? I believe, but I'm not 100%. But he endorsed both candidates for the race for governor. So I guess we'll probably hear some comments, or maybe there's already been some comments made. But let's move on and talk about the weather here. What is the weather going to be today? It is kind of hot. So let's talk about that for just a second. The weather. The weather will be, whether the weather be fine or whether the weather be not, whether the weather be cold or whether the weather be hot. We'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. Isn't that the truth, folks? All right, so let's see. Right now it is 74 degrees, feels like 74 degrees. We are headed today for a high of 88 degrees. And sun and clouds mixed, high of 86. And so there you go. That's what we're looking for today. Tonight's going to be a low of 64 degrees. Tomorrow's going to be a high of 88, low of 70 with a 20% chance of a potential shower. Friday comes in at a high of 86, low of 72. Does look like, at least right now, we are talking about a 70% chance of rain. Friday, partly cloudy early with thunderstorms becoming likely during the afternoon. Chance of rain 70%. Saturday comes in with a high of 92, low of 73, and a very low chance of any showers. Sunday, 95. Be the high, low of 72, and a 45% chance of rain. So that's what we're looking at. Now, one of the things that, of course, you're going to be looking at is the Festival of Stars this weekend, which kicks off Thursday with a soft opening on Thursday, where you'll be able to get the tickets to rides and this type of thing. Of course, Friday begins the big celebration over there. Sure hope that 70% chance of rain changes out. After all, it's Wednesday. Anything can happen in South Carolina. So they are going to have, as I said, Thursday, you'll be able to go out there 4 to 10, let you get on the amusement rides before the official start of the festival. You'll be able to get wristbands Thursday and Friday only for $25. After that, ride tickets will be $1 each. Emerald City Entertainment will be set with a DJ between scheduled music artists. And, of course, they're going to have a cruise-in on Saturday from 10 to 2 near Fortner Motors with payouts for entries that include vehicles, motorcycles, and more. Plus, there'll be craft vendors and food trucks will all be on site. You know, one of the things that I used to think that was really fun, here we go, Ann, into the vault of Ann's memories, was the 4th of July parade that they always had before the Festival of Stars. And they always had it, on Saturday morning, And it was always some crazy theme, and it was such a fun parade. Didn't they have the clowns from Shriners Circus, the Shriners or something, did the clowns and rode the little vehicles. They just did a lot of fun stuff. Some of the themes I remember, oh my gosh, they were just fun, just a good old-fashioned parade. So, and since it is South Carolina's 250 years, folks, we are almost there for July 4th. This, of course, is the week before, always is the last weekend in June, and is, I think, sort of, it's a sanctioned event of the Festival of Flowers, so the Festival of Flowers will be closing down after this weekend. So, but they're going to have a lot of artists, musical artists there on Friday. The festival is from 4 to 10. Check out the South Carolina Regiments of Artillery's kickoff, following with music by Trey Steffens at 6 p.m., followed by Surrender Cobra, and then a month of Mondays and headliners G3N, which is founded in 2024. And G3N is Chris Alexander, Monfredi Allen, Joshua Lattimore, and Sean McElroth will be joining them, as well as Carlton Jameson and Raymond Peterson. So that's on Friday. Saturday, the festival kicks off from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Music starts in the afternoon, and they have a great lineup. Let's see, Chris Turner is the last show of the day. Fireworks begin after a cannon demonstration of the 4th South Carolina Regiment of Artillery. So, they are making it big. They are making it big. A cannon demonstration, that's huge. That's pretty huge. All right, so that's what's coming up after for this weekend. Again, they will start the rides and everything on Thursday. So if you've got young ones that like to get out and ride, it's really a bargain. You can get $25 and let them just ride. So that's 4 to 10 on Thursday. So that's one thing going on here in our community. That's right. On to some of the other things that are going on out there. Not going to do a really big update on it, but I did want to mention that it either was yesterday or maybe it was the day before. Spartanburg County is trying to get a moratorium in effect over there. And, there are rules on how one can put an amendment on the books. And one of the things that we are going through right here is putting an amendment for a moratorium or the text amendment that would give guidelines to allow a data center to come here. Well, not this Tuesday, the Tuesday before, they did introduce a moratorium amendment. Well, the problem is that as we go through the process, if we keep the process exactly the way it should go, meaning that every meeting, and they meet every 2 weeks, that they bring up to go through first, second, and third reading, that this will take longer. Well, Spartanburg decided in an effort to get this amendment on the books, they had a 2-minute county council meeting this last week to vote on the moratorium. Now, I think this is part of the process. It's not their final. I bring this up only to say, as I have said in previous discussions, that county council could move the needle on getting this moratorium. I believe it's a total of 5 days that they have to have between each county council meeting. They have to notify the media 3 days in advance. They have to go through a process. And this is to make sure that something doesn't just slip under the waves or slide under the rug. So I have no problem with that. But it will only be, they put the amendment in, what will it be? First amendment, first reading, then they'll have second reading, and then third reading. They could move this process much quicker by having a 2-minute meeting where they vote on moving this amendment for the moratorium forward. Now, the amendment for the text amendment will be coming up on July 7th. I would have liked to have seen, and it was possible, that time has actually passed now, but I would have liked to have seen both the amendment for the moratorium and the text amendment for a data center rules and regulations. I would have liked to have seen both of them on the county council meeting at the same time. That way one gets voted up or down and then the other one gets voted up or down. I don't know if there's a way to do it quicker, but that would be having a quick meeting to do only one thing, vote on the amendment for the moratorium, because you do have to go through certain number of readings, first, second, and third readings. So I hope that we don't get stuck in the fact that county council does not move this moratorium amendment forward quickly as in. To me, I don't understand. There is, in my opinion, other than possibly missing out on a data center, and I can honestly say, I think with quite complete authority, that if we miss out on a data center, there'll be another one coming down the pike, because they are looking all over South Carolina for data centers. Do you concur with me? Do you concur? I hope so. I hope so. That would be a important note to note. They can move the mountain forward by having a quick meeting. We've seen this with city council where they came in and just did one thing, boom, voted, had a discussion about, and then left. It was not a regular meeting. They can schedule a meeting. My question to county council members, why not move this mountain forward? So, FYI, I just thought I would say that. All right, I'm Ann Eller, right here with you this morning on WCRS. When we come back, we're going to talk about some more things going on and a few other points, some announcements and whatnot. So you got to stay tuned. And did you happen to hear? This story is a news nugget. Drone takes knife out of criminal's hand. Stay tuned, folks. I'll be right back. That's right. This is WCRS Radio with only the most important news stories for you to know about. Take it away. Well, I wanted to give it the opportunity. I wanted to give it the opportunity to be able to play our top of the hour. Yes, folks, it is 10 o'clock in the morning. Let's take it away now.
Hi, this is Brantley with Greenwood Chick-fil-A. Nominate your office, teachers, church group, or team for Breakfast for a Bunch with WCRS. We love surprising and delighting our Greenwood community. Call or text 864-332-9355. It would be our pleasure. Call or text 864-332-9355 for Breakfast for a Bunch with WCRS.
An American 250 revolutionary moment. As America celebrates its 250th birthday, let's journey back to a remarkable day that helped shape our nation's fight for independence. Just 6 days before the Declaration of Independence was approved on July 4, 1776, a pivotal battle unfolded on the South Carolina coast. June 28th marks the Battle of Sullivan's Island, known today as Carolina Day, and the first major American military victory over the mighty British Royal Navy during the Revolutionary War. At the center of the story was Colonel William Moultrie, who was tasked with defending Charleston Harbor. Using the island's abundant palmetto trees, his men built a fort unlike any other. The walls were made of soft, resilient palmetto logs, an innovation that would soon prove invaluable. In May of 1776, a powerful British fleet of more than 50 warships sailed south with plans to crush the rebellion in South Carolina. Inside the unfinished fort stood just over 400 American defenders. Many were young and inexperienced. Supplies were limited. Gunpowder was scarce. Then, on the morning of June 28th, 9 British warships opened fire. Hour after hour, cannonballs slammed into the fort's walls. But something extraordinary happened. Instead of shattering, the palmetto logs absorbed the impact. British shot bounced away or sank harmlessly into the spongy wood. Meanwhile, the Americans carefully aimed their cannon fire. They fired fewer shots, but with deadly accuracy. By sunset, the British attack had failed. The Royal Navy was forced to retreat. More than 220 British casualties were reported, while the American defenders suffered only a fraction of those losses. The victory electrified the colonies. It proved that ordinary Americans could stand against the world's most powerful military force and win. Today, the palmetto tree remains a proud symbol on South Carolina's state flag and is the reason South Carolina is known as the Palmetto State. For 250 years, South Carolinians have remembered the courage displayed at Sullivan's Island and the patriots who helped change the course of history. This is WCRS Radio, sharing the voice of 1776, brought to you by WCRS Radio and the Issaquena Chapter, Daughters of the American Revolution. Well, there you go. We're right back here at WCRS. A lot of people are liking our Carolina moment here on the Carolina Day coming up on the 28th. A lot of people said, I knew that, but I forgot it. And that's what makes doing this type of special project, particularly with the DAR, Daughters of the American Revolution. So we are back. We're not still in a commercial break, Ann. So let's see if Penny's doing anything. Oh, she's changed positions. Okay, she's good. All right, I'm Ann Eller. We're having a good time here today. I did want to share another story that has just come out. The museum in the 96th National Historic Site will be reopening today. According to the National Park Service, the museum underwent an extensive redevelopment effort designed to enhance visitor experiences and expand their interpretive storytelling. The 96th National Historic Site said the updated museum will showcase several new exhibits, including a tactile map, an interpretive map table providing a scaled-down representation of battlefield features, including a crawl-through portion of the, I have no idea how to say it, Kosciuszko's mine. I just wonder, is this for adults? I just gotta ask. Are we supposed to be crawling through this thing? I don't know. Voices of 96, an interactive experience allowing visitors to hear the stories from historical figures of the American Revolution. And Everyday Life, a collection of newly displayed artifacts related to life in the backcountry. These new exhibits allow us to share meaningful stories about the site and the people connected to it, said Superintendent Diana Bramble. We're excited to reopen the museum and provide a space where visitors may explore the unique history of South Carolina's backcountry and its role in the American Revolution. Starting June 24th, which is today, The museum will be available to visitors from 9 to 4:30 Wednesday to Sunday. On August 22nd, they'll be having a ribbon cutting for the new museum exhibits during the park's 50th anniversary celebration. So how about that? If you haven't been out to the 96 historic site in quite a while, great time to go out there. You know, the beauty of having 250 years, which unto itself is amazing for a country, is the fact that people start sprucing up and caring about the past. And so from that standpoint, we're seeing a lot more new. Well, they put new dollars. South Carolina put a large amount of dollars towards fixing up, sprucing up, and being prepared for this. And the museum has gotten a uplift because of this, I'm sure. So there you go. We'll have to check that out, and maybe we'll get a story on that. So that would be fun. By the way, coming up this afternoon on Meet Me at the Diner, the one and only Karen Petite will be here. She's going to be talking about her new book, Celebrate, Celebrate. Here we go. Celebrate America. What's it say? The people declare independence. And she's also doing a program at the museum on Friday. So we're going to be talking about that. This is a program for children. This is a children's book, even though you may like to read it yourself. It is a children's book. And it's been beautifully, look at this picture. Look at this picture. This is a picture of Louis. Bonner Abercrombie, let's see, there we go, did the illustrations, and they're just top-notch. The story is about how the revolution, the Declaration of Independence came to be, and Louis's adventures. If you ever follow Karen on Facebook, you know that she has quite a personality in Louis. Penny was not too impressed. She kind of turned up her nose at the topic for this afternoon, although I believe she will be here. She has said she may even dress up in some garb to celebrate the occasion, but she realizes she will not be the center of attention. However, she said she will try to deal with it, and as long as that dog is not coming, she was okay with it. Anyways, and I don't believe Louis is coming, but Princess Penny will be here holding down the fort. All right, that's another thing. I thought that was interesting on the 96 historic site. What else did I have here this morning? Nope. I don't know why I had that pulled up. There's some odd stories there, Anne. Why did you? Oh, yes, my story about the alligator. The only reason I'll tell you because I had evidently scrolled down, and there was a story about, I'll just tell you because it's kind of funny. Oh, where is it? There's all these ads. Oh, my God, where is it? Come on. Here we go. Man enters an adult store, ignores the worker, walks straight back into the back rooms without paying. Your freakiness should never be that bad. That's the story that was in front of me, and I'm going, was I going to talk about that? No, I'm not going to talk about that. You'll have to find that one on your own. What I was going to talk about was that front porch alligator in South Carolina was so big, animal control had to call for backup. That's right. Have you heard this story? It's been all over the news. I just think it's kind of fun. A South Carolina resident ended up with an unexpected porch visitor after an enormous alligator showed up requiring backup from animal control alongside of DNR. So what happened? It happened back on June 17th when a homeowner reported finding the alligator on the porch. Berkeley County Sheriff's Animal Control arrived. Officers determined the reptile was larger than their team could safely handle alone. And so they called DNR, and the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources was brought in to assist with the removal. Interesting to note. I believe they took it and released it to another area. It says, upon arrival, the DNR decided that this was not a grab-and-go situation. The alligator was significantly larger than the bag they could put it in. Isn't that a hoot? Oh, my God, this is hysterical. So they called DNR, and I guess they removed it, and I think I read somewhere that they had released it. Now, I'm a little shocked at that with alligator season coming up, but it was not a grab and go. The alligator was significantly larger than we were equipped to handle under our standard capture guidelines. Out of abundance of caution, as I said, they called the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources. Together, they were to safely secure the alligator, yes, and relocate it back to a more appropriate setting. That setting was far away from front doors, welcome backs, and any future real estate ambitions. Now, they've got alligator season coming up where people are already signing up for to get one of the very few permits to be able to shoot an alligator. So, but no, they just relocated it and said, big alligator. This will make a good prize for somebody. There you go. All right, couple more stories here this morning before we finish up here today. Was there another one? Yes, there was another one. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to tell you that story. I don't even care about that story. All right, let's move on and talk about some other things this morning. We've got a lot of events happening. Things are happening all over the place. So maybe let's scroll through and get some stories for you that way. One of the things that is happening is people are still talking about data centers. So keep that in mind. If you are interested in finding out more about data centers, the next meeting of county council, unless they go ahead and schedule something, and they don't have to do it on Tuesdays, just for the record. They could schedule a meeting today. Well, they could have another one, I think, next Tuesday if they wanted to do it, and they could move this mountain on the moratorium. I guess I need to question why we can't move this faster forward. And if any of county council would like to talk to me about it, I would be more than happy to have them to come and talk about this data center issue. It certainly has been an explosive subject. As I said, this afternoon we are going to have Karen Petit, author of Celebrate America, The People Declare Independence. We'll be talking about her book about Louis. It's a children's book. And we'll also be talking about the event Friday at the museum. We declare a revolutionary adventure for kids. That will be going on from 10:30 to 12:30 at the museum right here in Uptown Greenwood. So we've talked. Let's see. Matthews Village is putting in a blessing box. So that they are going to have. As they said, we have the power to change lives. They're going to be serving the community. This is today, the 24th at 1 p.m. Come out and support this new addition to our community. Anytime you do something like this for the community, I think it's a big plus. So that is happening today at 1 o'clock. If you'd like to bring some canned goods out there to put in the blessing box, I'm sure they would like that too. If you just want to go check it out, I'm sure they'd love to see you over there too. So that's at 1 o'clock today. Now, next week, Affordable Spay and Neuter Clinic right here in Greenwood. They are doing exams from 10:30 to 11:30, wellness from 10:30 to 12:30, And it looks like those, maybe they're not doing spay and neuter, but they are doing some exams and wellness checks. They really tried to do the prices very affordable. So if you would like to see about getting an appointment, these are available to any residents in South Carolina and Georgia. To schedule an appointment, you have to schedule in advance because they have so many people. So this is at the Mobile Spay and Neuter Clinic right here in Greenwood. So I would presume you can go to Humane Society of Greenwood and find the link on that. Also, this is another big thing for pizza lovers. There's a new pizza restaurant coming. That's right. That's 6/27. So that's Saturday from 12 to 1 over there in Abbeville. It is Pizza at the Square. Pizza at the Square. So that is at 105 Washington right there in Abbeville. That is happening this Saturday from 12 to 1. So check that out. And this is big. This is big. This is going to create a lot of angst, I'm sure. But they are doing the 2026 property reassessment notices are coming out. I think they're mailed now, between now and the end of the week. Yes, the end of the week. They'll be coming out on June 25th. They said the most important thing to realize is this is not a tax bill. Reassessment is not a new tax. But there's all kinds of information in there for you to look at. It says reassessment is a process required by the South Carolina Code of Laws every 5 years to update property values and ensure property is assessed fairly and equitably across the county. A reassessment is not a new tax and is not intended to increase revenue. State laws require counties to adjust or roll back millage rates after reassessment to prevent local governments from receiving additional revenue simply because property values increase. So that's just a little nugget about it. We'll talk more about it so that you will know. But do not think that that's your tax bill. That is the most important thing. Don't have a heart attack if your value of your property has gone up and you're thinking your taxes. This is just the first step in them deciding what they are going to do or not to do. So that is something to know. It says while the county's overall revenue on reassessed properties can't increase, individual bills may go up or down. So that's where they're at. I guess we'll just have to wait and see where that comes, how that comes together. Now, talking, this is just an off-the-cuff thing that I found very interesting. Did you know there is Troll Day hunting in Charlotte and High Point? And this gal went up there and she saw Big Pete with big feet in Charlotte, North Carolina. And these are huge trolls that have been carved out of wood. So I don't know. I think I'm going to check more about that. But they are all these big trolls, and they're actually, I guess, is a little park set up, and where they have these out there. I thought that was pretty cool. You know, I love subscribing to all these different things on trips you could take, trips you wish you could take, and trips you never get to take because you're too busy. So you look at the pictures and you go, I've been there. Not really, but, I kind of keep a list of places that someday when I'm a free woman that I will check out and take a look at it. All right. Corn for sale. This is what I was talking about the other day. This is over there at the South Carolina Governor's School for Agriculture at John De La Howe. If you'd like to pick your own corn, you can do that today on the campus over there at John De La Howe from 3 to 5, and stomp around the field and pick your favorites. Prices are $3 per dozen or $10 for a whole crate, which is 30 to 40 ears of corn. The campus is located at 192 Geddes Road in McCormick, and it says you do have to have an ID. Of course, if you're driving, you should have a driver's license to be able to go through the security gate. But there's a fun thing that you can go check out. I think that's pretty cool. I did talk about the grand opening of the State Museum. It's going to be free all day long on Saturday. They're going to have a lot of good things going on there. And so that's a few of the things that I know about that are going on. I do have a couple of Facebook notes here that have come in this morning that we're going to make sure that everybody knows about too. But let me just scroll through here real quick and see what else we have that you may or may not know about. So I just wanted to let you know about this. What else? Don't forget this afternoon, Celebrate America. Yes, Celebrate America. So, and of course, all over Facebook, you're seeing all the congratulatory things from last night's election. If you want to hear them in total, you can certainly hear the whole thing. One other thing that I did want to tell you about is this June 28th through the 28th is Pollinator Week. And right here in Greenwood, they are doing some special things. This week takes a closer look at the leaves in your garden. A few chewed leaves, maybe a sign that your garden is doing exactly what nature intended. So I think they are actually going to be doing, I thought they were going to be doing a scavenger hunt here in Greenwood for Bee City Pollinator Week. But I could be right, but I could be wrong. I think I might be right. Anyways, we'll have to get you more details on that. That is a few of the things that I know that are going on. I also wanted to, let me go right back over here to see that James Long has put a little note. Good morning, James. He's still liking Penny better than me. Let's see if Penny has any comment about that. Have you got any comment about James liking you best? No, but I am the cutest one, you know. Okay. All right, Penny. All right, let's go back over here. James says we're having a meet and greet tomorrow, so that would be Thursday from 5 to 7 at the West Cambridge Park. They'll have free snow cones and hot dogs. Free snow cones and hot dogs. Hope you will get out there and check out, find out more about James. James is going to be running. I mean, he's running, but he hasn't officially, because you can't officially do that till August. But he is running for mayor here in Greenwood. So I'm expecting a very robust season on our own local elections right here. And of course, that will start in August. I think they can sign up. We'll then have September, October, and of course, the first Tuesday in November will be the election. So that's what we are looking for. Hey, you know what? Is there anything else on my list I didn't tell you about or do this morning? Let's double check. No. Penny saved the day. I told you that story first about a deer, 3 deer, and Penny and the experience. And just remember this. We need to trust the process. We've been told that on county council, and we want to trust the process. I trusted the process that Penny, with proper training, would come back. And Lord, she did. So hallelujah. Amen, Eller. This is WCRS. Have a great day. See you back here at 5 o'clock with Karen Petit right here on, that'll be Meet Me at the Diner. Let's drop the curtain, Penny. Does that mean you're going to wake up and want some dinner? Yes, I want my dinner. Okay, that's going to do it for us. Take it away. I'm not sure. It looked like my music a minute or so ago was hung up. Let's see if it's going to play now. Take it away. Yes, bye-bye, everybody.